Shaari, the Secretary General of Development Aid, welcome with us. I don't know what I can say. We appreciate you presenting with us today in Egyptian TV and EgyNews for these few minutes, which we want to share with us more details about the D8. Please.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say how happy I am to be back here in Cairo, because I live here for 3.5 years as the former ambassador of Malaysia to Egypt.
Good.
From the year 2013 to 2017. And I started my work as the new Secretary General from 1st January 2018. So I've been there for about close to more than 8 months now.
Yes.
And I must say I'm happy to be in Istanbul, and D8 of course becoming very important now as a new kind of economic bloc, as I put it that way. D8 was established on 15th of June 1997. The former Prime Minister of Turkey, Professor Dr. Necmettin Erbakan, initiated this idea when he organized a conference called Conference for Economic Cooperation. And he invited the leaders from 8 member countries. Then on 15 June 1997, so they had a first summit, and the same leaders came to participate. They are from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from Iran, from Turkey, Egypt, and Nigeria.
Yes.
And these are leaders like late President Suharto, Rafsanjani was there, and former Prime Minister of Egypt, Dr. Kamal Al-Ganzouri, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, and Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, and one Minister of Economy from Nigeria. They signed a declaration called Istanbul Declaration, where they signed this declaration to establish D8 organization for economic cooperation. They come up with the objective to go for peace, for dialogue, for just, for contribution to the member state, with an objective that they should look at the sustainable economic growth of all member states.
That means that Istanbul Declaration is the first start for the organization.
Yes. And again, another objective was to see how they can uplift the standard of living of the population of the 8 member countries. It's a very noble objective, where we focus completely on economic cooperation. So since the beginning, they focus only on few sectoral areas, the important one, and they are trade, industry, agriculture and food security. Then we have transportation, energy, and later part then they included tourism.
That's the fields of cooperation. That's
at the very beginning. So they set only these 6 areas of focus for us to work together to develop it. On trade, they set kind of a target that within 20 years since we signed PTA, that we should reach the target of intra-trade among member states of US 500 billion, for example. But this is a very ambitious target, and when it started in 1997, our intra-trade was only at 18 billion US dollars. But we achieved quite remarkable achievement, good success. By the year, I think 2014, if I'm not mistaken, the intra-trade reached something like 124 billion US dollars. But still far away from the target. That by the end of 2018, we should reach 500 billion. But what we did was to sign an agreement in order to facilitate the need for us to have that intra-trade, which is PTA, the preferential trade agreement, then we have custom agreement, and we have visa agreement as well. Of course, many people say, talking about implementing it.
Yeah.
We have implemented it, but I must be very frank to say that there are areas that need to be improved in all these agreements, and it's exactly what we are trying to do now. Then in industry, we have some industrial cooperation. So at the level of minister, we organize a number of ministerial meetings.
Yes.
Same like trade also, for them to look at what are the areas of cooperation that need to be established. So you can talk about iron and steel, for example. We talk about fertilizer. We talk about pharmacy, for example. We talk about anything that can be, important in some of the industrial areas. Small, it may be, but they seems to be working.
Yeah.
And member state keep hosting it, and I'm happy to say that I attended as ambassador to represent my minister in 2016, I think, where Egypt hosted the meeting of the industrial minister.
Yes.
And we came up with a lot of program initiative. From there, we developed a special D8 portal where we try to bring companies from different sectors.
Yes.
To have a huge portal. We have now about 700 companies under the D8 portal. We know who they are. Then in agricultural cooperation, at least we have 5 meetings of ministers, and at the very beginning we launched a project, something like tilapia breeding, a simple one.
Sure.
And some other program. But I'm here today also to have a discussion with the Ministry of Agriculture, and I met with the Deputy Minister of Agriculture yesterday, that Egypt is considering now hosting the 6th ministerial meeting on agriculture, which we are going to focus on food security.
So when it will be held?
Yes.
Yeah. When?
Not yet. We are talking about the date because we need to prepare.
Yeah.
To get the invitation extended. One we fix the time, and I think Egypt also would need to come up with their own idea and proposal. What would be the best sector and areas that we want to cover during the meeting. Yeah. So we are still talking to the Ministry of Agriculture, inshallah, and I hope Egypt will be able to organize this meeting maybe end of this year or sometime early next year. So we look forward to that. Yes. Another sector, besides agriculture, we have transportation. And in transportation, we have 2 sectors. One in the civil aviation and one in shipping. We have a shipping association, but nothing much I can say about it because when we developed it, I think there was no effort to broaden that yet. But in terms of civil aviation, I think I'm quite happy to say we have reached a good kind of cooperation in different areas. So we conducted a lot of workshops, we conducted a lot of training, sharing experience, sharing knowledge from some member countries that can provide some training program, for example. And in fact, now we are talking about enlarging it to include private sector participation in civil aviation.
Yes.
So this is what we are doing now at the Secretariat, to engage some of the companies that are dealing with aerospace industry. So so that is very important. On energy, unfortunately, we have not started.
Yeah.
And so we are looking at one member state to organize a first meeting for us to look at, the energy sector, perhaps to look at renewable energy and things like that.
Sure.
Then the latest one, we put tourism, and we had a first tourism meeting before, and now we are looking at the second tourism ministerial meeting, and we are now in the process of preparing a special strategic vision and paper of how best we can proceed, in the tourism sector. I'm happy to say that now we are working also with certain agencies, with tourism board, and I had a meeting also with the tourism board of Egypt, and we had a very good meeting. And I think they are happy also to partner with D8, and they also look forward, that tourism sector would bring a lot of things, because a number of member countries in D8 have a huge tourism sector. Egypt have a huge tourism industry.
Yes.
Turkey has a huge tourism industry. Malaysia has a huge tourism industry. Indonesia now is coming in.
Sure.
And other member countries are also looking at establishing tourism as a service industry in their member countries. So we are giving serious attention to this area now.
Yeah. Dr. Shaari, I know that you met Minister of Foreign Affairs before yesterday, and I'm sure you discussed a lot of important subjects. So I'm wondering what the relation between policy and economy. I think there some relation gather both of them together. Could you tell me what happened during this meeting and
Thank
what?
you. I expect this question already.
Yeah.
It seems to be quite a popular question whenever I go, but I am happy to say this. I had a very good meeting with Excellency Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri, and he gave full support to D8 now. They look at the organization as having a potential, and bear in mind that Egypt will take over the chairmanship of D8 by the year 2021.
Yeah.
And Egypt is ready to do that part. I think they are preparing the country, not only from the government sector, but the private sector. The chambers also now is excited about preparing our strategy of how we want to launch a new initiative in particular. But during the meeting with Excellency Foreign Minister, he put it a line. He said, yes, we have some issues.
Excuse me, we can stop a little? Try your voice, please.
On these political issues, because I cannot deny, we have some hiccup, I must say. Not a problem, not an issue, between member states. We don't have to point out who they are, but we know.
Yeah.
We don't have to say it loud. But a good thing about the organization, our focus is completely economy.
Yes.
We don't talk about politics at all, although there are sometimes attempt, to bring some element of politics, but majority of member states say no. We must remain focused on economic cooperation, and for that matter, and
we hope so too. But if you want to talk about your agenda for Egypt for the next time, you have main fields you want to concentrate the cooperation in these fields, and maybe in this next years we will focusing on transportation, for example. What's your agenda?
Okay, number one, I must say this, that the organization belongs to member state. I think the initiative should first also be initiated by the member states. Yeah. And this is what we are trying to to share with member states when I visit all the member states, to discuss seriously with them what can a member state, the government, offer us, number one. Yeah. It has to be based on willingness. It has to be based on commitment, because they own this.
Yeah.
And to ensure the success of our work, then first the member state must show that we are interested to promote this, for not only for their own interest, but for the interest not only among the D8 member states, but the interest that will benefit all. Sure. Because we are not doing it within the D8 at all, because we have signed a lot of memorandum of standing with many other organizations, with different agencies, even with UN. We are observer to United States, to United Nations. Yeah. And we are working also closely with many bodies and agencies of OIC, because we are a member of OIC too. We are talking to UNCTAD, we are talking to UNIDO, and last year we signed agreement with Islamic Development Bank for funding proposal. I'm talking also to some other people even outside D8 so that we can have a kind of a partnership with that.
It means that the cooperation of the organization not only with the countries but also with another organizations,
Yes,
as
yes.
me, UN and UNIDO and so on.
There can be experience learning, experience sharing. We can learn from them, they can learn from us.
Yes.
We can also come out with some initiative to do it together, jointly. So I don't think that we should limit our activities within us alone, because we need to talk to people, we need to trade with people, with other regions. So, and we signed memorandum with a number of regional organizations as well. When I was in Indonesia, I visited ASEAN Secretariat, and we agreed both, in fact, to start the first project was to start having a special conference to bring our chambers of commerce there, sharing experience of D8 chambers of commerce and ASEAN chambers of commerce. They may be advanced from us. We are now still crawling, but I think from there, because two members of ASEAN, Malaysia and Indonesia, are members of D8. We can even talk to another, like a group of ECOWAS, Egypt and Nigeria is a member. So this is what exactly we were talking yesterday with Chambers of Commerce. We should benefit from the connection of the organization within D8 with the other organization outside D8. We should leverage on this kind of a good cooperation with other organizations. So we want to bring new element into D8 so that it will be lively, it will be very productive. So I'm taking more of pragmatic approach. We want to be professional. We want to be seen that we understand the issue, we know what we are doing, and we are sharing with other organizations. And why not we expand all this cooperation as part of our external relations activities?
Yes. I noticed that the members of the organizations, some countries from Africa, another from Asia and Europe, and I'm wondering how you collected these countries together, and you aren't thinking in enlarging the, instead of the D8, maybe D10, maybe D12.
This idea, in fact, came at the last summit meeting. At the closing remark by the Honorable President of Turkey, being new chair of D8. I think he just mentioned in passing. Not even referring to saying, I think we can see the potential of the so in passing he just say why don't we look at expanding it? We should not remain as D8, we should go to D8 to 9 or D20 or something. But I must stress this point. In the Charter, Article 3 of the D8 organization, the Charter says very clearly about new membership. So there is a clause and a provision already existing in the Charter that any member, any country, can apply to become a new member of the organization, as long as they are a member of the United Nations. It doesn't say whether you must be an Islamic country or a non-Islamic country. So it's a kind of open-ended, statement to, if those who are willing to be part with us, and we will welcome. But of course, you have to set some criteria of consideration and selection. It has to be based on certain criteria, which we are now working.
You put some conditions,
We have not worked it out yet. I think we will leave it to the minister. We will submit some ideas to them, and for them to consider whether is it good for us to discuss it, because there is already a clause in the Charter to say it's open to anyone to apply. So when they apply, then we will deal with that, because it's very simple. Any member, any country that is interested, the foreign minister of that country should write to the Secretary General. Secretary General will bring it to the attention of the foreign minister for them to consider, and the foreign minister will submit it for approval by the leadership at the summit level. So it seemed to be easy, but I'm sure the leaders who are very wise, that will decide whether we can open it to one country or to another country. Because I think this is similar to any other organization. Yes. They have to set some rules and terms and conditions.
Sure.
I don't think that I should discuss about it now because nobody has applied yet, and we are just talking of the possibility, But when that happens, then I think we will give it to the wisdom of our leaders to decide.
Who knows? Maybe not. We hope that in the future, maybe.
Right.
Yes. Dr. Shaari, your presence here in Egypt as ambassador of Malaysia helped you in dealing with others here in Egypt, with how to manage your meetings here. I think your presence here helped you to be better in cooperation, in negotiation with Egyptians here. You know them before. You stayed here for. You know that.
That's why, as I said, I cannot talk as ambassador of Malaysia now. But I was a former ambassador of Malaysia. I'm not representing Malaysia.
Yes.
But I'm very happy to see. I had spent a wonderful time in Egypt. I love this country because of my brothers and sisters. And I said many times that I will be with Egypt. I would never allow my brother country to collapse. And whatever I can do, I will be there, standing together with all my brothers and sisters. And I keep it in me, until I come. So I developed friendship with different sectors, not only, with government agencies, not only with foreign ministry. I have a very good relation with even the religious part, with Sheikh Al-Azhar, for example, because we have got thousands of Malaysian students here. With the Ministry of Awqaf, for example, with the Grand Mufti, and with the universities. I have a very good relation.
Good.
And at the same time, we were active not only bilaterally between Malaysia and Egypt, we were active in ASEAN. So through ASEAN also, you have other ASEAN member countries, and we connect ourselves seriously with all the government agencies here, with think tank. Any issues that is raised by my country, we take it as a common position that it become ASEAN issues, because we have got our committee to look at all issues. So normally we consult each other, we come up with one decision, and then everything that we do, I think, just for benefit of our relation at bilateral level as well as at regional level. So having this experience, and I developed interest, to explore Egypt in a different areas, on personal kind of interest. So I travel a lot in Egypt. I meet with different part of Egypt, even local people, local community. So I thought I understand, the psyche of the people, the tradition, the culture. And I love to say that, whenever I have chance, I will always come back to Egypt. I think this gives me the chance to understand Egypt, and I'm happy because I was received warmly, and hospitality has been extended to me, beyond my expectation. I think because perhaps I was here before, and so when I saw foreign minister, I am so happy because he made things so easy. He said, we will be with you, we will support you, don't worry, and so that shows that friendship that you developed before help you. So as I said, I love to come back more and more to Egypt.
Dr. Shaari, I'm asking, you didn't put in mind that you're going to put education, for example, in one of the goals of interests of the organization in the next time? You didn't?
No, I'm not trying to say that we have not given any attention to education, but I'm looking at...
I mean another factors besides transportation,
which we are now,
agriculture. I mean education, health.
So. Now, at the last summit in Istanbul, we come up with a new Declaration, Plan of Action, another Istanbul Declaration, where we set forth, new areas of cooperation. That include health, that include education, that include science, technology, and financial sector, and that's exactly what we are now also giving importance to it. Besides trying to realize what were set before in the area of focus, but at the same time we are exploring new opportunities. So I want to share that in education, when I came, so I thought we should not remain as a secretariat dealing with organizing meeting, conference, forum, at that level. So I thought, no, we have to be even much more resourceful in creating our own database. We should come up with kind of intellectual participation by having our own journal and engaging professionals, economists, professors, universities. So that's what I did to start with, giving this new focus in R&D, for example. So what we did was, I came up with 1 or 2 initiatives, and I'm happy to say that the commission was talking about it already. First, about establishing our own university. So Iran then offered Hamadan University, or they call it Bu Sina Ali Sina University, to be turned into a special D8 International University. So I went to Hamadan to meet with the minister, because he came on the Minister of Science and Technology of Iran. I visited the place. I thought this is a wonderful idea. It's a nice campus, and they are focusing on science, technology, engineering, on economic and everything that come incompatible with what we are doing, to inject new ideas to bring us out from what we are now. And so that is one, and they are going to launch it for the intake of first with master student and PhD student, and the fees to be imposed on a student from the country will be quite fair and cheap. In fact, especially this now will be arranged in order to encourage a student to come and study, signing technology, for example. That is one area of looking at it. I also initiated a new idea called D8 NPRI, and D8 NPRI stands for D8 Network of Pioneers of Research and Innovation. Good. And the idea is that we want to have our own database by connecting all universities in member states, at least those universities that are having R&D, for example, because I think we are lacking behind in terms of R&D, in the Muslim world in particular, so that we should engage them. And I'm happy to say 4 member states have given a list of universities. Malaysia has given 3 universities, and these are top universities in Malaysia that also have some R&D work. And then we have from Bangladesh. Bangladesh even give me 4 universities. Nigeria give me 4 universities. Turkey give me 3 universities now. So yesterday I raised this issue also. I said I need a university, but if I have a chance, as being a former ambassador,
Egypt didn't give you any university?
Not yet. I said I met with a lot of universities ago. I've got thousands of Malaysian students at almost all universities in Egypt. I know the capability of Egyptian universities. So I said, if I have my way, I would like to choose like Cairo University, that is excellent in business and economic studies. Ain Sham University, because I know in the context of Malaysia, we signed an agreement with Ain Sham University for research work in certain areas of study. Then
Alexandria University,
and then Alexandria University. So these are 3 universities that I suggested. I'm sure. I hope the government of Egypt will agree with me and send me formal.
I think if you meet Dr. Khalid Jaafar, the Minister of Higher Education, I think
no share. Inshallah, I will next time when I come. I would have the possibility to call on them. What the idea is this? Why people ask me why you want to form it? So it is going to be an association of all these universities, I'll be writing to all the president of the university, active university, to say that come a time that we have to get together the brain of all the university professors, technocrats, that let them decide what best for us to start promoting young mind, number one.
Yeah.
Young student, they will be the future industrialists, technologies, and whatever. So we have to nurture them from the very beginning. Number two, there will be a lot of research and development done by the university. I realize many of our member countries don't use this.
Yeah.
Research and development, it remain in the archive. Sadly, we don't promote this idea, but I want to start talking about them. Why don't we take this when we engage private sector? Because we have an experience in Malaysia. I see in Turkey now that private sector would commission many universities now to come up with a special product and research to be patented under intellectual property right, and they would produce it and they would market it.
Yes.
So having learned that, so I said, if, for example, in Nigeria, there are a lot of work done by the professors and students in terms of R&D, but they are not able to sell it to private sector. Perhaps private sector is not yet big, not knowing all this positive. Why do you market it to Egypt?
Yeah.
Why do you market it to Turkey?
Yeah.
There must be companies ready to look at this opportunity to develop. So the student from Nigeria will benefit, university will benefit, and we can share it among member states.
Yes.
So this is what I'm doing, and I've been engaged by many universities. When I go back to Turkey, they have already arranged for me on 10 October for me to meet with international students of this private university. And this university is a research university.
Yeah.
And so they say we will bring a number of professors in a different field so that we can sit down and see what we can now propose to you, for you to look at and consider whether it is good for us to proceed with some program. So this is exactly what we are doing, and I'm hoping that Egypt will be active, because I know Egypt is very active in education, and we can expand it more and more.
I hope in the next time we can make some agreements regarding this. I'm asking about the atmosphere of investment here in Egypt now. How do you see it? You think it is improved? Or?
Let me first congratulate the government of Egypt, for your economic reform. I am happy, when I left Egypt, there were a lot of initiatives undertaken by the government. The president has been very, aggressive in pushing for the economic reform, be it in creating new economic zone. The Suez Canal was built, and you are bringing new element of technologies, and then financially, you are able to reform and create a kind of stability in the financial sector. And we are proud, as a secretariat, having a member state that is so focused, that is so aggressive and very prudent and competent in putting up all these new elements. And I'm very happy with that. That's why when I met with Mr. I said, we want to tap your experience. And I think Egypt can offer this by organizing activities that can attract not only attention from other developed countries, other important members of the world, but I'm sure more need to be publicized. More need to be worked out to invite some interested parties, looking at even our member state. I'm sure there are companies that would be interested to come in. I'm glad in the context of relation between Egypt and Malaysia, for example. Petronas is big here now, and I think I'm sure we are looking at other opportunities as well. Not only in the context of education relation, religious relation, but there are opportunities to the private sector, because Malaysia changed the government now, and we have some issue now, because of debt and things like that, where budget is a bit small for us to maintain it. But private sector have no reason to avoid investing in Egypt, provided the climate is good for them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we are looking at the business sector in Egypt to also venture into our region. Egyptian companies should go global as well.
Yeah.
And I think in the ASEAN context, Malaysia, Indonesia would be more than ready, to receive investment, new initiative for them to broaden the horizon of economic cooperation. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Finally, Dr. Bashar, my last question: what's your dream for D8 and for Egypt too?
Okay. Well, I would say it's a dream of D8 because all the member countries or member state of the organization would have a same wish and same dream, that there will be a time where D8 will be known to be a new economic powerhouse. And I say it because I am very confident, because from my reading and from the analysis now from different agencies, accounting agencies, economic agencies, and many has time that they are saying when we look at the future. And I've been using this quotation to quote. It was shared to me by an advisor who are close to the private sector, because they use this for them, to promote their own activities. So he said, brother, the future of D8 is so bright. The analysis has been made, not as a D8 as a group, but a member state.
Yeah.
And this is amazing story that the analysis returned in a very comprehensive manner in all sectors, that from the year 2020, then it will go to 2030, and from 2030 to 2050. What happened to the ranking of all the countries, at least 30 countries that they were making, the analysis and measures, that in the year 2020, as we know now, America is still ahead, and China, and some other, by the year 2020, the ranking will shift.
Yes.
Some new emerging economy, they say new emerging economy, will take over.
Sure.
And in the year 2050, that amazingly, I must say, the trend changed completely, and all D8 member states will rank among the top 24 in the ranking, and a number of developed countries will be below us, or not even listed as an economic power.
Yeah.
And this is interesting, because if I remember correctly, I could be wrong because I don't have in front of me the article, that as the year 2050, in terms of ranking of a country, first will be China, in terms of huge GDP, India, third one is still United States of America. Japan not there. And number 4 will be Indonesia.
Indonesia, number 4.
Then Turkey will be 11. And among the Muslim countries, of 57 member countries, none is listed except Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Saudi Arabia will be number 13.
What about Egypt?
This is what I'm coming to.
Yes.
Egypt, if I'm not mistaken, will be the 14th strongest economy by the year 2050.
Yes.
And interestingly, a country like Nigeria will be number 15.
Yeah.
Iran will be 13, I think, Saudi Arabia. 14 will be Egypt. 15 Nigeria. 16 will be Iran, despite all the sanctions. This is amazing. Then other countries like Pakistan will be number 19, Bangladesh 23, Malaysia will be 24. there must be reason why, because we are small, low GDP. So, but yeah, we will be above Thailand, we will be above Italy, we will be above France.
I'm wondering, how come?
Australia will be behind us, Canada will be behind us. So this is an amazing story.
It's a big change.
So the way I put it, if you combine these 8 countries who happen to be the biggest members of OIC.
But you think it could be they are combined together?
We will have something like now our GDP combined is about 3.8 trillion.
Yes.
Come the year 2050, our combined GDP will be 40 trillion US dollars.
Yeah.
US, and that will put us as a group. We will be the 3rd economic superpower after China and America. The US will be number 4, and we would beat, the other group as we put it together. So, Mr. Hamuda, we have a bright future.
Yes.
The way I put it now, we have to work, aggressively. We have to be very committed. We have to start preparing ourselves.
But we have to work hard to
we
achieve
have to work
this.
Hard.
Yes.
That's why I say I put it to all the leaders. I say, no, put aside, our political differences, because we will never be able to handle it, because sentiment is always there. But when we focus on our economic cooperation, we will benefit us. We have nothing to quarrel about. The people will enjoy, people will benefit, and people will be very happy to participate in all our programs.
Yes.
So we have to start coming with new initiatives, and it has to come with not only willingness. So we need a political will, and we need to have economic will. We need to have commitment. We have to give priority to the aid, as if it is not the most important, but at least equal to the priority given to other organizations that we are members.
Yeah.
So that's how I put it. I've been saying it. Let's put it together.
Yes.
At the very least, start talking about the aid. In the statement. Whenever we go, mention the aid. In the meeting with other people, so we have this group, and we have hope that this group also will provide something great, for the benefit of mankind. Not necessarily for the DX members, but we can play a very crucial role for the benefit of all. That's how I see it. You ask me my vision. So I'm pretty clear about the direction.
Yeah.
It's only for us to work hard and to be united, to do things together. Put aside all the small, disagreement. Let focus on what we do.
It's a big dream for not only for D8 but for over the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about your dream for Egypt?
Sorry?
For Egypt?
Yes.
Yes. Your dream for Egypt. How?
As I said, Egypt will be the new economic power. Yeah. But Egypt, to me, has been playing its role. Egypt is a global player in many issues. I don't want to comment about political issues because we are not a political organization. But individually, personally, I would speak that Egypt has been there in almost all the important issues of the world. And Egypt initiative, Egypt help, Egypt thinking, views has been sought after in many issues. And I'm happy, that Egypt has done wonderful work in the context of when Egypt assumed the presidency of G77 in China. You have done a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the competency of your diplomat and your people is very clear. I know, that you have a very good, excellent diplomat, for example. As a diplomat myself, and I deal with many of my friends, and this is the kind of role that I think world would see Egypt playing. Not only on the economic sector, trying to come up to a level that would be comfortable to the people. But at the same time, the role in a different aspect, which Egypt has been playing effectively. So continue to do that and be much more effective in it, and nobody will say Egypt has not done it. And you can see from the record and from history. So I'm very happy, to have the opportunity to associate myself with the people and the government of Egypt. I used, when I was ambassador, I used to tell my own experience, and they love it.
Yeah.
I said, I learned to study Al-Quran because we send our people to study. And I keep saying, in the case of Malaysia, Egypt has contributed a lot in the field of education, because we have, our people, our big ulama in the South Asia that were trained by Al-Azhar since 1876. I remember when I came, and this is interesting, I don't want to name the former Deputy Prime Minister of Egypt. I went to see him, to call on him, and he was singing me a song about Malay people coming, they call it Jawi, that come from Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, whatever, where we participated in the war against Israel. During the big war. And there is a rhyme, part of the patriotic song, to motivate, the Egyptian soldiers, to fight. There was one rhyme that is saying about the Malay, fighters.
You remember?
He sang it for me. I can't remember if he sang it in Arabic, but the meaning is something like, we are fighting with these people, with bravery and everything. We have our brothers coming from far away. They are here together with us. And these people are so kind, because we use gun and we shoot people, and they come to our gun and put flower in front of the gun, or mouth of the gun. So they come with love. They come with that. Not only they come with patriotism, support, bravery to support, but they offer the love also to our friends in Egypt. So he sang the song for me, and amazingly, I said to him that, Your Excellency, we would have, and that is my early part when I organized the National Day for Malaysia. And I told him that we are going to have our National Day celebration. And he said, can I come and attend your function? He was shocked to me, because people were just envy. How come you come only about 2 months and you are able to get the Deputy Prime Minister to attend your function? So I said, of course, by all means, and I'm happy when he came. And I give a speech, and I said, would you like to say something? He went up the stage, and he said, I want to tell you something about Malaysia and Malay people. And he said, there's a song, special song, created for these people. And he sang it. And he gave a very good speech, and he said, you must know about this. I said to him, please share this song, so that I can publicize it. I've been telling my students here, see how Egypt even regards us. And this is very important for me. And I said, when I was small, I listened to the song Umi Kalsum, Abdul Razak, and that actually influenced me a lot. And at that time, movie from Egypt was very popular. Song was very popular in Malaysia, and when we go back to Malaysia, many of our students, they established a madrasah system. So at that time, under the British, so there were two kind of special, education institutions. One, which is built by the British, and you have to follow them, the British. But the Muslim in particular established madrasah system, completely using Al-Azhar as a model. Until now, we continue to use this system, and Al-Azhar is the most important institution to Muslims. So we follow the example of Egypt and come to all these villages as a Sunni centers, and only that. And moderation is being practiced in Malaysia as moderation here also. So I'm very happy to say this, and that's why I have these fond memories, of my relation with different people, different institutions. Well, it reminds me of something great. So that's so much I can say.
Actually, I don't want to finish my interview with you, but I'm very happy being with you, and Dr. Shaari, Secretary General of Developing Aid Organization for Economic Cooperation. Thank you very much for being with us on EgyNews.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.